Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, and we are in the final stretch, the last roughly 4 weeks or so of BPO1 Advent of Genesis formats, and today what I have for you is the first of many videos to come where I discuss some of my picks for the best cards to look for in set BPO2 Rage of Bahamut when it drops on September 29th. I will be breaking up these discussion videos by the craft of class, and I decided that I will start with none other than what will undoubtedly be one of the best decks going into the new format, Swordcraft. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The first card I would like to talk about today is Gunner Maid Seria. This card is a 2 playpoint officer follower with 1 attack, 3 defense, and an effect that reads Fanfare. Search your deck for a princess follower and add it to your hand. Up until this point in Shadowverse Evolved's English release, we have not really had to pay much attention to a follower's trait so much, so I understand if you may not know right away what followers this card can grab out of your deck. After BPO2's release, there's going to be 3 targets that can be searched with Seria's effect, and that is Pompous Princess, Queen Otohime, of course, and of course Aurelia, Regal, Saber. These cards are most likely just going to be tech cards in the next format, but you can just, search them out a little bit more easily and kind of make them worth playing your deck a little bit more if you decide to play Gunner Maid Seria in your Swordcraft deck. Next, this card is absolutely disgusting for Sword. It is so good, but Amelia Silver Paladin is a 4-cost commander follower with 3 attack, 3 defense, and an effect that reads Fanfare. Choose one of the following. Choose a follower in your hand with a cost of 3 or less. Put this card, put it onto the field, or choose an enemy follower. Deal 4 damage to it. Like I said, the card is so good. This card can either serve as a single spot removal or as an extender to create a bigger board. To name a few strong cards that Amelia can summon from your hand, or for free, mind you, this card can summon cards like Novice Trooper, Gen Staff Commander, Floral Fencer, and those are just cards from BPO1. This card immediately becomes a 3 of in most, if not all, Swordcraft decks in the new format. And I also wanted to let you know it actually is going to be coming as an ultimate rare, as you can see right here, which looks so nice. So me personally hoping I pull this as one of my cards in BPO2. So, but look out for this card. It's incredibly strong and absolutely going to be one of the most staple cards in all Swordcraft decks moving forward. Now for the big man himself. This card really shines as a superstar for Swordcraft at the next set, but Leonidas is a 6-cost commander follower with 5 attack, 6 defense, and can evolve for just 1 play point, meaning you can evolve them on turn 6 if you went second. And you're going to want to, because Leonidas' evolve effect is incredibly strong and sets up your cards to be much, much more powerful. Leonidas' evolved form is a 6 attack, 7 defense, and reads, on evolve, choose an enemy follower, deal 5 damage to it, and to this card, so it drops it down to 6/2. It also has last words. Put a Leonidas' resolve onto the field, and that's where things really get cooking. Once resolve comes out, things start getting crazy. Leonidas' resolve is an amulet, and this reads, whenever a royal follower enters your field, it gets +3 attack and defense and rush. That's a giant buff to your royal followers. Nearly all of the Swordcraft followers that saw play during BPO1 were royal class, which, that's the class that gets the buff. So to name a few, all cards summoned off of Alwita's command would get a buff. Aurelia, Fervid Soldier, Gem Staff Commander, Luminous Knight, Maid Leader, Ninja Trainee, Novice Trooper, Otohime, and her Vanguards. And the list can go on. But anyway, you can even look at cards like Veteran Lancer, which didn't see a lot of play in BP1. But this card under Leonidas' Resolve would be a 5/6 ward for only 2 play points. That's crazy. That is so good. It's almost like an overflow effect, but for Swordcraft. So Leonidas' Resolve really puts Swordcraft into the realm of discussion for the best deck of the next format. It's definitely a force to be reckoned with, so do yourself a favor and be prepared for this deck moving forward in BP02. The next follower I wanted to get on your radar is Alexander. This card is a 6-cost Royal follower with 5 attack, 9 defense, rush, and an effect that reads, during your turn, whenever this card deals clash damage, stand this card. This card is clearly meant to help you wipe your opponent's board of engaged followers. Every time Alexander would battle with one, he will restand so he can swing again, really until he's out of life. Or an alternate way of looking at this is that you could use him to attack over a follower and then leave him standing so your opponent has to either out him or potentially take 5 face damage next turn. Definitely a cool card that'll likely end up being like a one-of tech card in most Swordcraft decks, but definitely consider this. I mean, imagine having a couple of bell ringers that just lose to this guy for free. Kind of crazy. And finally, everybody say hello to your new daddy, Albert Levin Saber. This card has always been one of my favorite cards since the online release of Shadowverse, and I'm so excited to finally see him come to the English release of Shadowverse Evolve. What's also exciting to me is that his effect is really not very far off from his original effect in the online game. Albert is a 4-cost Royal follower with 3 attack, 5 defense, and Storm. I put a little emphasis on him being Royal because this means he qualifies to get the 3/3 buff from Leonidas' Resolve that we talked about earlier. So with that in mind, 4 play points, you have a 7/8 Storm without even evolving. That's crazy good. Anyway, Albert, unfortunately, but understandably, requires 3 play points to evolve him, but boy, oh boy, is his evolve worth it. Albert, when evolved, he doesn't get a stat increase, but he does get this nice little effect right here that reads, Strike. Stand this card, which can only be used once per turn. And then on evolve, this card takes no clash damage this turn. So I'm going to let you take that in while I dissect this a little bit. Albert's Evo, when attacking, resets himself to attack a second time. Additionally, if you use Albert's effect to attack followers during the turn he evolved, he takes no battle damage at all. I love everything about this card. I mean, most likely he's actually just going to be a 1 or 2 of card resource in your deck, but I imagine dropping this guy on turn 7, Leonidas resolves on your board, and you hit your opponent for 12 damage. This guy alone, like, it just puts Genesis Dragon to shame. This card is so strong. So I hope I see it in my pools, and I hope you guys look out for this card too. But certainly it's going to be something that you're going to have to consider whenever you're playing against Swordcraft in BP02 format. Well, that's all I had for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and share with your friends. It's the only way I can really get this channel to grow, so I can keep bringing you Shadowverse Evolve content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.